This digital world, Payoneer's platform streamlines global commerce for millions of small businesses, marketplaces, and enterprises from 200 countries and territories. Leveraging its robust technology, compliance, operations, and banking infrastructure, Payoneer delivers a suite of services that includes cross-border payments, working capital, tax solutions, and risk management. Now, the company, which has seen a growth of over 50% from emerging markets, is looking to expand its India presence. And joining us now to discuss the company's India plans as well as its growth blueprint going forward is John Caplan, the co-CEO of Payoneer. John, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. You're essentially contributing to the growth of the Indian SMB sector. You're saying they don't get the right solutions at the right price point. So can you explain to me the pain point that you are trying to solve for these companies in India?
Sure. At first, it is absolutely terrific to join you tonight. I was really looking forward to this conversation. SMBs all over the world have recognized that cross-border trade is essential for their growth. And so what at Payoneer we do is we make it easy for small businesses to get paid and pay globally. And this is really important. An e-commerce seller, a freelancer, a service company that is doing business in the West, maybe selling their goods on Amazon or Walmart, a freelancer marketing their capability on Upwork or Fiverr, a services company doing business with companies all over the world, they need to get paid quickly, fairly, and into an account that they can do lots of things with. And at Payoneer, our vision is to make it easy for small businesses to do business anywhere. And that's the primary pain point we're addressing. Here in India, as you know, exports are essential to the growth of the SMB sector. A $400 billion industry likely to double, if not triple, in the years ahead, very soon years ahead, I should add. And so Payoneer is here to help small businesses make it easy for them to do business.
A $400 billion industry. John, hi, this is Ritu. What kind of solutions do you offer for these small and medium businesses then to help with their export growth? And who are your biggest competitors in the Indian market?
Sure. So the suite of solutions that Payoneer offers really is everything a small business owner needs so she or he can very successfully get paid the accounts receivable or pay their suppliers, vendors around the globe. So really what we've established at Payoneer is an account that a small business owner can use so it makes it easy for them to trade in markets all over the globe. What we've seen is the most successful small businesses recognize the needs to do business in markets outside of their home market. Exports really are the sort of key to the next level of success for small businesses. Here in India in particular, what we found is we've built some very special and unique clearance services and reporting services to make it even simpler for an SMB here to report, pay taxes, handle the compliance matters so that they can be very successful, focused on growing their business, taking care of their customers. Payoneer takes care of the money part and makes it easy for them. Really, we make cross-border money simple, and that's a big benefit to Indian SMBs.
Absolutely, John. So you make cross-border money easier for them. You are a global company, like I said, with 50% of your revenues coming in from emerging markets. So what is the contribution from the India market, and how do you plan to expand your footprint out here?
Well, we have an incredible team here in India. We are, this week, myself and a bunch of global executives are here meeting with our customers, listening to their needs, discussing with them all the tools they need, the relationships they need in order to be successful. We're a publicly listed company, so I can't comment on the specific results here in India, but I can say from 2016 through 2021, our business grew on a compound annual growth rate of 96%. So our business is strong, it's growing. We have a lot of work to do to serve all the potential customers here in India that we want to serve, particularly the booming freelancer segment here in India. I think COVID really unlocked this notion that everybody can be an entrepreneur. And by taking your capability, whether you're a craftsperson and you're selling goods you make cross-border, or a accountant who's selling their accounting services cross-border, Payoneer's the solution that makes it easy to both get paid, be trusted, get the money quickly into your account so you can use it to invest in your growth.
John, while a 96% kind of a growth that you quoted, that is impressive. It is coming on a very small base, right? You've only just started here. Could you give us a sense of, going ahead, what kind of revenue India could generate, or a revenue mix rather, picture that you could give us?
Yeah, so unfortunately, I can't give you specific numbers because we don't report that way. What I can say is India is one of our top 10 global markets and is a high priority for us going forward. We are very focused on investing our resources, our energy, and our capability behind the booming entrepreneurship sector here in India.
Absolutely. John, if you could quickly tell us what's the current size of your loan book in India? Also, given that small businesses have been the most impacted due to the pandemic, there have been concerns about the asset quality hit lenders would have to take. So could you give us a sense of what the delinquency rates are like for Payoneer here?
So here in India, we actually do not provide working capital loans of any type. So we aren't a lender here in India. We do have a very robust lending and working capital business in other markets around the globe. But today, in our present form, we aren't a lender here in India.
All right, John, we've run out of time, but thank you very much for speaking to us here on Startup Street. We wish you all the very best. On that note, we have to take a very short break, but up next, AI-based digital companion for behavioral health, Wysa, will be piloting a Hindi app next year. We talk about their growth plans on the other side, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to Startup Street on World Mental Health Day. Today we have AI-based digital companion for behavioral health, Wysa, that has announced plans for a Hindi language mental health app, which will also be accessible through WhatsApp. Now, ACT, a non-profit venture philanthropy platform, is supporting the initiative and is seeking a co-funding partner to propel the development further. The pilot is expected to commence in early 2023. And to give us more details, joining us now is the co-founder and president of Wysa, Ramakant Vempati. Also joining me is my colleague Arundhati. Ramakant, welcome to Startup Street. There's always been so much stigma around mental health, but the barriers were broken down by the slightest due to the pandemic, which kind of helped create more awareness around it. So tell me, how will this Hindi app help users manage depression and anxiety? And, basically, what does the app offer?
Thank you for having us here. I think the need for mental health support is obvious now after COVID. Everybody has suffered through anxiety, worries about the future, worries about health. And it's just that the supply side constraint is extremely high. So in India, it's very well known that there are less than 10,000 mental health professionals to serve a population of 1.4 billion people. And the supply can never catch up with demand, especially in a situation where, everybody is going through mental distress at some time or the other, and it's very hard to reach out and take help. So in a situation like this, we developed Wysa to help provide early high-grade, clinical-grade, early mental health support, where you're delivering a technique known as cognitive behavioral therapy, which is widely used in therapy, in-person therapy context. But this can be also being delivered through an AI chat platform, which we have developed. It's now been operational for more than 5 years. Today, in fact, is Wysa's 6th birthday, World Mental Health Day. And
wish Wysa and you a very happy birthday, Ramakant.
Thank you very much. Yeah. And it's been now 5 million people, so 50 lakh people across 65 countries. More than 13% of those have come from India. So we've already served more than 5 lakh people from India, but all of them have been in English.
Okay.
And so I think what realization we came to was, given that the number of people speaking English is such a small percentage of the population,
absolutely,
and the need is so high, we had to do something about it.
All right.
And that is how Wysa and Hindi has happened.
Absolutely. And the pilot is expected to commence in early 2023. But what is the kind of impact you hope to create? What is the kind of interest you're seeing currently?
So we have, as a Hindi-speaking population, obviously there are more than 500 million people in India who speak Hindi, many more overseas as well. All that is an addressable market for us. And we have, due to the generous contribution from ACT, we have a grant to help create the product. So deploy, adapt whatever we've developed in English, and then adapt it for the Hindi language audience. The ambition, of course, is to take it to a 14-year-old girl in say Rai Bareli or Kanpur and saying who has a phone but doesn't have access to mental health support, and be there when she needs help. And from that point of view, the market is huge. The monetization potential we see is also extremely significant, because this can be a huge public health play. Imagine a government agency who is struggling to create mental health support at scale, high quality mental health support. So something like Wysa delivered on an online platform through platforms like WhatsApp will be able to reach almost everybody who has a phone.
Absolutely.
And that's the market potential we see today.
Right, so big market potential. Yeah, big market potential there as well. Hi, Ramakant, Arundhati here, and also happy 6 years to Wysa. But with so much stigma around mental health, it's essential to go beyond the barriers of literacy to address it, right? Like we've discussed, you're launching in Hindi, but will you also explore other languages? Is going vernacular the way forward for you?
It's a very important part of our strategy. I think English is only a starting point, to be honest. And we are thinking of other languages apart from Hindi. At this point, obviously, we've bitten off as much as we can chew. Hindi itself, the number of people we can address, the impact we can achieve is huge. This is also an opportunity, I think, to invite other people who can come in and participate in an initiative like this to expand support to mental health across the world and across India, starting with Hindi.
Right. Absolutely. So you're starting with Hindi and you will look at other languages maybe later. But speaking of breaking down literacy barriers, what's the understanding of mental health in tier 2 and 3 cities? Is Wysa doing anything to spread awareness of what mental health is in these areas?
So it's very interesting, though, that people are already looking for help in not just tier 1, but also tier 2 cities. So we get almost 98% of our traffic. We don't do any advertising. So everything is through search and discovery. Where people are looking for help online. They're using words like therapy, anxiety, and reaching out and taking help. We often get a huge stream of support from our existing users who go out and talk about their experience they've had with Wysa on Twitter, on social media platforms. That starts this virtual loop of referrals and recommendation. So we are actually getting users right now without having to do any advertising. And we think that is because there is this groundswell of demand, groundswell of need, which is creating this opportunity for obviously impact, but also commerce. And that is, we're going to tap into existing ASO behavior, into existing search behavior. And that's going to be the first stream of work which we will do. The second, obviously, is to use platforms like CNBC to spread the word, saying there is something available and please use it and please take advantage of it. And the third then would be a paid acquisition strategy. Right. But I don't think we need to get there given the size of the demand and the size of the opportunity we have right now. So you're seeing big demand there, but
Ramakant, if I could just quickly ask you, data shows that approximately 0.75 psychiatrists are available for 100,000 population. While startups like yours have been instrumental in bridging that gap, the lack of frontline healthcare workers is still appalling. So what needs to be done, if you could quickly tell us?
So I think there is a huge amount of work. We have just scratched the surface in terms of what we can do in mental health. So clearly, utilizing platforms like Wysa and offering early stage mental health using scalable digital platforms. So that bridges the gap. It's the first handshake, if you will, where people come in and start taking support. Wysa as a platform is anonymous. So in a large part, you're reducing a large part of that stigma for people to come forward. There are other things you can do to expand the pool of mental health professionals in the country. There's a lot of work going around in training frontline community workers, for instance, in delivering basic mental health support, high quality mental health support. There is also a lot of work happening in training communities to provide peer-to-peer support. So there are and a lot of research is going around in this area. Sure. There are lots of different ways in which you can expand the pool of mental health support which is available.
Absolutely, Ramakant. We would have loved to hear more, but we've completely run out of time. Many thanks for joining us on the show today and wish you the very best.
Thank you very much.
On that note, it's time for us to wrap up this edition of Startup Street. More news and updates coming on the other side, so stay tuned.